Hi, guys. Hello. Welcome. Let's see. Yay. It's a 50-50 chance whether or not it's going to be super duper loud at my house because Logan is watching the puppies and baby Georgia. So we will see. Welcome, guys. We'll give everybody a minute or two. I think we're going to have a nice giant group tonight. I'm excited. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Hi, Maureen. Yay. Hi, Isola. Welcome. And Shelby and Amy, Leah, Nikki, all sorts of faces. Hi, Diana. Stacy, I see you on here. Nailed it. Good job. I told her to book it like it was a client appointment. Book this Sunday call like it's a client appointment, and here she is. That is how we do, most of us. We take really good care of our clients, our kids, our spouses, our jobs, our all the things. It's harder to do us. All right, yay. Leah, what is that? Is that a tripod for your phone?
Yeah, I'm tired of this, like, not having a place to put it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a really good one. I like it.
It's good for hiking because you can wrap it around trees and stuff. And like, my friend's a photographer, hiker, and she's always like, okay, let me position this in a tree. Now we're going to pretend like we're running. Like,
it's really funny. Yeah. Pretend like we're walking through the woods.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. I have this weird claw one on my desk. I'll show you guys. So it like actually clips onto my desk and then I can move it. So half the time I use it for me and half the time I use it for Georgia. I'll put a phone in there and set her up right next to me. Hi, Mabel. All right. Okay, guys, we're going to get right to it. So welcome. It's the Fitme family meeting, which is our like Sunday, everybody comes coaching call. And if you're not here live, then you're listening to the replay. This is kind of our like grand central meetup for the week. The way that these calls go, so we have some new people. So first off, welcome. Like we are so excited to see your faces. We're excited you're a part of this. And this is when we get to all be together on Sundays. So I'm so glad you're here. So the kind of the way that these Sunday calls go is I have a specific thing, like a specific action thing that you'll do. So Sunday is sort of your touch point for the week. And then after this call, you will send your coach either today or tomorrow, a Marco Polo message that answers whatever the prompt is that I give you. And so really easy, you just send them a message and tell them if you need anything this week or what's on your mind or what's ahead. And then your coach will respond to you on Tuesday so that you guys are on the same page. And obviously throughout the week if you need additional support. But this is your like jump off point for that. I also think this is just your jump off point for setting intentions. Sometimes it's just about showing up. It doesn't even matter if you're like, I don't even know what I can do this week. Sometimes just showing up for this call puts you on a path of, okay, I'm going to be intentional about what I'm doing. I'm focused, I'm moving forward. And so if this can become a priority for everybody, it will pay off dividends. And so the only way something is a priority is if it's actually in your calendar. That's what we do with priorities. We put them in our calendars and we put reminders and we show up. Good news is that we send out text reminders. So if you want a text reminder with the link, we can actually set you up with that. So tell your coach if you want text reminders, it'll send it out like 5 minutes before the call, and then it will give you a link. And so we have that for you guys too. So one last announcement before we dive into the topic of the week. So for all of our newbies, welcome. This won't apply to you, but everybody else, you will see the shift in Marco Polo group. So you've already been added to the group with your coach, and your old group will go away. And I made a post in each of the Marco Polo groups today, kind of commenting on this transition. For those of you that have been around for a while, you've set this like incredible high bar for what connection can be like in an online space. These initial groups that we tested out were kind of magical. And so even though they're ending and that's like bittersweet, I hope that we all have it almost like one of those just like fabulous moments that we're like, you know what, that's really special. And that was the beginning of even greater, versions of that. And so that's kind of how I want you guys to think about it, because with the new structure, it's going to be a lot more doable for people. And that magic that's been created in Iron Sharpens Iron and Spring Start is going to carry over, and it's going to, carry to our newbies who are here. So I just wanted to kind of comment on how amazing those groups are and how special it is, but also it's pretty magical to leave something, while it's still great. There's some good in that too, So onward to our new Marco Polo structure. If you are confused about that, just reach out to your coach. But it's going to be really, really great. I think that's all my announcements. Short and sweet announcements tonight. So it's time to dive in. It is reset week. It's reset week for everybody. For those who are new, and just as for everybody, we created the 7-day reset because I saw when I was coaching people one-on-one that there were various times throughout the year that you just needed a little jump start. So you would come back from vacay, or you'd have the holiday season, or you'd just be energized by something. And you're like, you know what? I need something. I need something to that's kind of strict, but something that I can do and get the momentum going. But most of the options that I saw out there were really problematic. They were like super intense, like cleanses and fasts and, 72-hour this and 7 days or 30 days. And it was just not what was actually helpful for people. So we built this 7-day reset to be used as a jumpstart anytime you need it. The best thing about the 7-day reset is that you can choose what's right for you. So the full version, if you are like, I'm all in, I'm going to do every piece of this 7-day reset, what it looks like would be you would make your bed every single day for 7 days. So I just have to say that that's like the first one. For some people, that's like, yeah, duh. But for other people, that's like the hardest one. In terms of your body, you're doing no sugar, no alcohol, and you sweat every day. And for the mind part, you're doing 5 minutes for you, no sad clothes, and only positive self-talk. So that means if you caught yourself in a negative self-talk, you would stop it and reframe. And then the environment piece is a pantry clean out, a closet clean out, and a social media clean out. So that's like the big version, right? If you were going to tackle everything. But I want everyone in Fitme to at least pick something on the reset. You don't have to do the whole thing if that's not right for you right now, but I want you to focus on some piece of that or multiple pieces of it. And that's what your target is for the week, is to tell your coach what you're doing for your reset. I want to talk about our commitments, because for a lot of us, we've been in the habit in the past, and I certainly have done this plenty of times, where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then I don't actually do it. Or I start it and day one goes pretty good, and then the next day is kind of a mess. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's this isn't a good week, for that. And it's not that I can't do it. It's just that I just kind of let it fall. What I'm encouraging each of you to do, part of what the 7-day reset is keeping small commitments to yourself. It's about keeping promises and then showing the you that matters that you're trustworthy and that you follow through. And so again, even if the only thing from the reset that you're committed to is making your bed, I want you to take that commitment really seriously. If you message your coach after we hang up and say, you know what, I'm going to take this week, I'm going to make my bed, I'm not going to put on any sad clothes, and I'm going to sweat every day. That's what I'm doing for my reset. Then I want you to mean it. I want you to make that happen for 7 days. I don't want you to 2 days in, it get away from you. Here's why. This isn't about all or nothing. This isn't about extremes. You have the complete choice to do any piece of this as always. This is about signaling to yourself what you need to come back to center, right? So a lot of times, at least for me, taking a break from sugar and alcohol, that's not something I like feel like restricted. I feel like I want to take a break sometimes, so I come back to center, right? Then I feel like, okay, my sugar cravings are back where they should be. I'm not in this like habit of having a couple glasses of wine a week. Like I'm back to center and I can work from here. Similar with the environment clean outs with your pantry and your closet and your social media. Sometimes you just get so much noise, so much clutter, so much interference that when you can clean it out and you come back to center, you have this baseline to start with. So wherever it is that you feel like you need this reset, some piece of it or all of it, I want you to think about it like that. It's not about restriction. It's about bringing yourself back to center so that you can build off that foundation. But make this the first thing that you commit and you follow through on. So this is a new year. We're in January 17th. It's crazy. It's so fast. But for those of you who are in Fitme in the holiday season, it was a different season. We talked a lot about balance. We talked a lot about, incorporating special occasions. We talked about which days we're going to have sugar and enjoy it and be present and all that good things. That's great. And there are different seasons, but I know that the vast majority of you sent your coach a goal that was like, I'm trying to make progress. This is where I'm at. I'm ready to move the needle forward in a couple different areas. And so that's why it's a great time to kind of kick it into gear. And following through on the small promises that you make to yourself create momentum. The same way that, okay, 4 pounds down or 3 pounds or 7 pounds or 20 pounds on the scale, if you want to talk about pounds and you're like, oh, I see something, I'm going to keep doing it. That's momentum. Other times it's like, man, I'm starting to see some like muscles in the mirror. Like you feel momentum because you're seeing progress. The internal part is actually as important, if not more. By keeping the little commitments, then you start to build internal momentum. Your word becomes more significant and your follow through becomes more predictable. You start to become the person that's like, you know what? I said I'm going to do that thing. I'm going to figure out a way. Today went to hell, but I said I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. You're also going to be the person that has a boundary when someone asks you to do something, or when you're considering to doing something, you're going to be like, wait a minute, I don't want to commit, because when I commit, I'm going to do it. And so I don't want to commit yet. I need to think about it and check my schedule or check my calendar and see what's going on. Those things go together. They are both a follow through commitment and a boundary of not saying you're going to do something and then not do it. So everybody has access to the 7-day reset materials. If you are confused about where are these materials, I don't know. All you got to do is send a Marco Polo to your coach or to Brooke. So everybody's heard from Brooke. Everybody knows Brooke. She can make sure you have it and walk you through it, because there's some good videos and stuff that will help you actually do these things. But probably the simplest thing that everybody needs is this. This is the little graphic that it's so bright, that basically lists every component of the 7-day reset. And so if you have already gone through the materials, you can just use the graphic as like a cheat sheet. Pick what you're going to do, send it to your coach, and then you can use the graphic to track your progress. But if you haven't done the reset before, or you've never gone through the materials, then I want you to go through it. It's not going to take very long, maybe 10 minutes of your time, and it'll be worth it. And use this community for accountability. So whatever there are, let's see, there's 32 people on this call right now, and there's like another 50 to 60 who are probably going to catch the replay. That's momentum too. So if you're like, you know what, I'm going to clean up my environment and take on this pantry, and I'm going to take on this closet, I'm getting rid of sad clothes, like I'm doing it. Take a picture of that and tag us. Let us continue to push you as you make these little wins. If you're like, I'm committed to sweating for 7 days, I haven't worked out in 4 months, and I'm going to do it 7 days this week, I'm going to sweat every single day, then by all means, you should be posting in the accountability post, you know, on Facebook, or tagging us in something so that you can feel that energy and you're not doing it alone. It makes you nervous, right? If you start being like, well, I'm going to tag them, or I'm going to like post it publicly, because then what if like on Wednesday I don't do it? That's the point. I want you to do it. I want you to follow through. We've all chosen to like be together and be a part of this together because it's powerful to not have to do this solo. And so use those tools. And yeah, I think that's it. So just to reiterate, your target this week is to choose what piece of the 7-day reset you are doing, from one thing to all of it. You get to pick. And then send your coach a Marco Polo, letting them know what you're doing for your reset and why. Tell them why. And then if there's anything that you need to be successful, then let your coach know. If you know that, man, if I don't get this done in the beginning part of my day, like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, then your coach can walk you through, well, like, let's go ahead and put it in there. Let's get it in the first part of your day. Let's send me a calendar, you know, where you've already booked it. Here, Georgia. She's like, ma. So that's my piece. I would love to hear from you guys. One, if you know what piece of the reset you're tackling, or where you feel like, man, I really need to come back to center, or if you have questions about it, I'll just go ahead and open it up. So everybody should be muted. So if you have a question, you can either wave and I'll unmute you, or you can just unmute yourself.
Well, I always think the reset starts on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was informed that it didn't. So I wrote a list this morning during my 5 minutes. And the biggest thing that one of the biggest things that I always fail at is not the social media clean out as much, but putting my phone away at bedtime. So when I get in my bed, the phone is done, because that's when I sit and I answer emails, or I'll like respond to text messages because the kids are in bed. And so that's the biggest thing. But I'm going to do no sugar, no alcohol. But the biggest thing for me, the hardest thing, is going to be putting that phone down and away. And I think I'm going to have to plug it in the bathroom and turn my alarm up.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, I was going to recommend that even the way you verbalized it, the thing I always fail at, almost sets you up to do that. It'd be like, if I was like, I always fail at box jumps, this is the thing I always fail at, and then I would watch myself trip and like eat it on a box. So maybe think about it. 2 things to think about, Amy, is say it's something that you haven't really mastered yet, is being able to turn that phone off. That's the way I would frame it. But if you've continued to struggle with it, then you're going to need a different strategy, because whatever strategies you used before didn't work. And so don't try the same one and think it's going to work this time just because you want it to. Try something different.
For sure. I was never willing to plug it in away from me, because I was like, what if I don't hear my alarm? But I'm just going to do it. I wake up anyways from the baby. So
you can get like a $5 alarm clock on Amazon.
I could do that also.
Yes.
Hey, Christy. Hopefully the TV in the background isn't too loud, but I'm kind of doing a mishmash. I did a pantry clean out today.
Awesome. A couple other people did too. I saw pictures.
Yeah. Because pantry and closet would be too much all at once.
Mhm.
But so I'm definitely doing the pantry clean out, and then I'm gonna do 5 minutes for me, positive self-talk, and no sugar.
Like it. Good work. That's really good.
And I'm even though it's not listed on underbody, I'm working on sleep.
Okay. That's a good one. You can pencil in something. So
Yeah.
that's a good reminder, Kristen. Thanks for sharing that. If there's some piece that you're like, this is what helps me come back to center, I've done this before, this helps, then talk to your coach about it. We can kind of pencil it in for you. Is anybody else tackling the no sugar?
100% right here, Wendy Lloyd.
Wendy Lloyd.
I am ready for this to detox from sugar. It's bad, and I'm crashing every day. So that's my number one. I'm going to do all the things, but that's like my whole purpose this week is to really, and I'm going to do a little bit of an AIP eating, just because I feel like my gut right now is a little torn up, and I may extend that for the 30 days, but that's kind of my goal this week is, for the 7 days at least to detox and then eat a little AIP.
Mm-hmm. Like it. For anybody who's like, what's that? AIP is autoimmune protocol. So if somebody has an autoimmune condition, then they might remove like different categories of food that can cause inflammation, especially in the gut. So that's what she's talking about. Something to expect if you have been snacking on sugar regularly, like, and you're going to go cold turkey on sugar, you will have a headache. You will have cravings. It usually takes a couple days for that to go away. And so just kind of be aware that that's not weird. A lot of people feel that in the afternoon and in the like late evening. So know that that's coming and pick something else for you to do than just be like bored sitting around thinking about the sugar that's in your freezer. And again, that's why kind of it's attached to, if it's time to clean out the pantry, let's clean out the pantry. Let's get rid of the processed junk, the refined sugar, the stuff that doesn't need to be there. But expect a little bit of a headache if you have been having a lot of sugar.
Yeah, I started the reset actually on January 1st because I really wanted to get a jump start, and I completely cut sugar out and have been eating super clean since the 1st. And like every afternoon, I was getting like nauseated and stuff, and nothing sounded good, but like a piece of bread or like something sweet. And I realized that every time I eat healthy, that's what I do. And about 2 weeks in, I would feel that way. And then I would give in to that. And talking to Coach Lauren, I realized that's my body's way of saying, hey, you're eliminating the stuff we like. Give it back. So I'm finally just starting to like hit that plateau of not feeling that way. So it is crazy when you cut the sugar out.
It is. I mean, you get a dopamine response from it. You actually get a feel good feels from sugar, a physiological response. That's not even like factoring in our like emotional stuff. You get a feel good feeling from sugar, but your liver also is the one that deals with sugar. And so that is part of like that feeling too of, I've got to get this out of my system. So Nikki, that's awesome. And Nick, so then you just have evidence that Nikki's been going at it for a couple weeks now, and she's just starting to feel like that relief. Sometimes I've had people in the past tell me, well, I don't want to give up alcohol or sugar because I feel too restricted. And I think that that's okay. If that's a trigger for you, or if for some reason you don't want that to be your focus. But my challenge to them and my challenge to you, if you're feeling that trigger, is you want to be able to get to a place where you could, if you felt like it, that it's completely within your power and you are in mastery of your choices over sugar and alcohol. And if you feel like taking a break, you can. I want you to get to that point. It doesn't mean that's where you're at right now. But that's why it's nice to just be able to flex that, flex that 7-day break muscle. It's, if you do weightlifting or something and you have a big heavy weight on your back, like you don't walk around with that weight on your back. You squat and then you stand up and your muscles flex and contract and they tear a little bit and they change, like that stress is positive. You're doing something deliberately because you're flexing that muscle, right? And so I think taking a break from things that can be problematic is sort of like flexing a muscle of discipline or mastery or control. And again, like it's just an idea. It doesn't have to be exactly what you do. But it's a good question to ask. Could I if I wanted to?
I'm going to pencil in on the 5 minutes for me to snuggle my dog like Brittany is snuggling her baby, because that looks so wonderful.
Brittany's always got baby cuddled up on calls.
But what you guys don't see is that there's a puppy too.
A doggo too. Double cuddles. Double cuddles.
Gravitate.
Well, does anybody else have a question, or they want to share what they're going to tackle or what they know they need to tackle and kind of share it for accountability?
I'm doing the whole thing.
Whole thing? I like it. You're at that level now. You can take it on.
I'm going to be tackling my environment because I feel like it's gotten a little like, you know, I clean a drawer out and then it slowly starts adding up again. But one thing I just wanted to share is like, no matter what I'm choose to be tackling, I just try to be in the moment during the week so that I can learn from it. And sometimes, a lot of times I see what I thought was really good. And then I was like, oh, actually, now that I'm like paying attention, I could actually work on that a little bit. Or, you know, maybe my water, I thought my water was really good, but that's not really my real number, or, you know, something like that. And so that's kind of how I get away from the all or nothing thing, is just learn from it. Don't take it as a pass fail. Take it as like a learning experience about ourselves, because I don't think we slow down often enough to kind of just be in the moment and pay attention to our habits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's such a good point. Coach Leah has like an amazing point with his, that even if you set your intentions and something happens and you can't do it, it's not pass fail. That's not what this is about. It's not all or nothing. And so as long as you approach it with that, like, well, why wasn't I able to do it? What happened? And then you learn from that, then it becomes a really positive experience, because 0 people in this group are going to judge you if you try and it just doesn't happen. A lot of times the things that we take on are pretty challenging, even though they sound really simple. They're actually they're not that easy. And so they sound simple and you're like, oh, I got that, simple. But it's not easy. And so we like dare bravely, you know, and try at these hard things and then learn from it as you go. And that puzzle piece comes together. Sweet, guys. Awesome. Well, again, it is really wonderful. Nikki, are you waving? Nikki Rose. I couldn't tell if she's waving. Okay. Didn't know if she wanted to talk.
I was just going to say that I'm going to work on the mind and the body for sure this time. And I'll look at, and I will pay attention to the environment and see how that, you know, what I might need to adjust, but that's where I'm at for sure, is the mind and body.
I like it. I like it. Sweet, guys. Go ahead. Who was that?
Oh, I was gonna say, don't worry. I did mindset like for 2 years straight. I just kept. It's like a mindset sandwich, you know. You just keep learning and adding and layering, and so that's what I needed. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this reset's gonna feel different than the next time, and the next time, and the next time. But it should be a tool that, you know, you could be 80 years old and be like, let me do that 7-day reset. I need to get back to center. And it's still applicable. There's nothing here that's not a positive, you know, in this context for you. That's a reset. You can do it then too. So welcome again to all of our newbies. I can't tell you how much it makes me happy to see your faces. And for those of you who I've not seen ever before on a Sunday call, I'm so glad to see you here. It is the best way to start the week, is just for us to all be together and like get on this like real quick. Boom. Now we're off to the races. So I want to take a quick picture. So I have to take two because we actually have 2 screens worth of people. So if you want to turn your face on, you can turn it on. All right, we're going to do 2 and you're just not going to know which one you're in. And so you're going to have to smile 2 times. All right, so this is the first one. 1, 2, 3. And then one more. You don't know which one you're in. 1, 2, 3. Awesome, guys. Have a wonderful week. Your coaches will be waiting for your check-ins, and we will see you guys all week. Have an awesome one. Take care. Ta-ta.
Thanks, Christy.
Bye.